release that he can't get to.
Yo, what's going on, guys? We're playing some NHL 17 here in the background, but last night was what we want to talk about, and that was game number 5 of the Pens vs. Predators game. And as you guys know, I've been rooting for the Preds to win this series, so I already know we're going to see some guys in the comment section saying you're just saying that because you don't like the Pens. But quite frankly, it's been a looming concern for me lately with the NHL and the player safety, really. And does it get any worse than what it got last night? When Sidney Crosby, I get it, him and PK Subban are having problems, but you take PK down, that's one thing, take him down, it's hockey. It's another thing to take him down and have him defenseless and mash his helmet into the ice multiple times. I don't care if he does it 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. At the end of the day here, the intention's the same. Again, I don't even care if he barely does it, if he barely love taps him into the ice, period. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the intent there, you can't look at it any other way than think of concussions. I don't know how, the funniest thing is about this is you listen to one of them announcers during a game and say, oh.
So don't mind, and he likes to get a little bit even here. The referee can't see this, and it's behind the net, so the other official can't do it.
Crosby, I like this play here. How do you applaud a guy mashing someone's head in the ice? There's a reason you look at like the NFL right now, and the NFL gets sued by these athletes outside of the NFL because they have these post-traumatic, concussion problems from being in the NFL. All that's looming, and the NHL doesn't seem to care. It's another time where it's a concussion potential. I get it. It's just a little, bash of the head in the ice, and you're going to say, oh, it's not going to cause a concussion. But we flashback, what was that, earlier in the playoffs? Crosby had concussion-like symptoms, and they threw him back out there on the game, the same exact game. I don't care if he passed the test or not. You could say he passed the test. Where's the proof at? The guy's known to have concussion problems in his career, and they sent him back out there to play the same game. That is, I don't care. You won the cup last year. The cup is not more important than your player's life and livelihood. And obviously that player is going to say, I want to go out there and find. Every single player does. If you was in the NHL, you was in any sport, if you had a concussion or not, you want to go out there and you want to help your team. That is the competitive nature of players. At some point, the NHL, the team has to sit there and make a point and be like, dude, concussions are a serious problem in sports. And obviously, the players, being a player, I'd be the same way. I'd want to sit out there and play. If I could play with a broken leg on the ice, why wouldn't you? It's the same with a concussion. You can't, for the guy's livelihood, like I said, you have to take it seriously to some sort of extent and yank him off the ice. Whether it's good or bad for your team, you have to suck it up and swallow that pill. But the announcer, I got completely sidetracked there. That announcer, I like that play, but the ref didn't even see it. The ref wasn't even looking. The ref had his back turned. The line judge was looking this way. If you see this skate right here in this play, that is an official about 2 feet away from this play. To tell me they did not see Crosby mashing his head in the side of the ice is a little bit obscure there. That's like trying to hide the problem here. They both got 2-minute minors. Subban retaliated, so obviously deserved a minor at that same point in time. But the difference in what Subban did and what Crosby did is one went for the head, one didn't. You know what? I gave him the benefit of the doubt when he slashed the guy in the nuts. I gave him the benefit of the doubt when he slashed the guy's finger off. But at some point, you got to look at this and be like, this is Sidney Crosby. You can't give him a pass just because he's Sidney Crosby every time. At some point, you have to take action. He's probably going into the Stanley Cup playoffs thinking, I can do whatever I want. They're not going to do anything. They haven't done anything to me all year. So he's going to do whatever he wants to get away with it. I brought it up on Twitter. A guy like Brad Marchand goes out there and does that. The guy's suspended for the rest of the series. No doubt about it, because he's quote unquote known as a dirty player. A guy like Crosby does it and they take nothing. They don't even consider it. They didn't even see it. I don't think they even said anything about it on the NHL relations thing, how they was going to review the play to see if he should have been suspended for it or not, which is absolutely ridiculous. Again, it was completely in his control what he did. It's not like it was an accidental hit to the head. No, he took his hand repeatedly and mashed Subban's head into the side of the ice. And, he even tried to take his helmet off. Like, how much worse can you say it gets? I don't care if it's a good rivalry, it's a sport. Where do you start considering, it's a double standard. You have to consider your players. Like I said, the NHL is in for a rude awakening. Mark my words. Years down the road from now, I hate to say it, Crosby's going to be one of them guys with post-traumatic concussion symptoms. The face of the NHL, I think it's very, very likely. He has some sort of condition due to the NHL. Does he press charges? Does he blow the NHL up for it later in his career? We don't know. But a smaller guy, not as much money, maybe they do want to blame that, because literally that's the NHL's fault at that point for leaving him in there in the game not having some sort of concussion protocol. I know you can always blame it on the player. Oh, they could have went out there, but no, that's not how it works in sports. That's up to your team, up to the NHL to sit there and yank guys out for concussions and stuff like that. Again, I'm not even talking about the Subban hit here. I'm just talking about Crosby and concussion problems in general. And then you consider a guy like Subban. You don't even know if he went in there with some sort of head problems before the game. What if he did and nobody knew about it, and then Crosby's mashing his head against the ice, making it even worse? There's so many things I don't agree with the NHL. And their safety protocol is definitely one of them. I wasn't happy about it either when they did it to Werenski. People were like, oh, you're a Blue Jackets fan. That's why you didn't like that. I don't care who your player is. He got laid out in the middle of the ice, quite frankly, and wasn't moving. You can see, as a referee, you can tell if a guy's flopping or not. He took a freaking puck to the face. You should blow the whistle right away. I don't care what the rules say. The guy's, you know, that's dangerous. A fractured face is not something to shy away from. Why do you have to, you know, I understand it, why they do it. They don't want you to be like, oh, you went ahead and fell on the ice to draw a whistle because it was a bad play. No, he fell on the ice blocking a shot. There's nothing that amounts from that other than you could have shot it. It's not like the shot ricocheted right in front of Bobrovsky or something where it related to a goal. No, the play continued on, puck moving around and stuff, down a man while he's laying in the middle of the ice. That's a problem. From safety perspective, you have to consider that, I think, and be like, man, we got to rethink what we're doing. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with their safety protocol. Like I said, you can say I don't like the Pens, but I just made the point as well. Crosby, for the sake of Crosby's health, should have not played when he got up woozy from that game, when you knew he was having concussion problems. That's just my opinion of it. You should have never done that to your star player. That's dumb. That's being selfish at that point, being like, oh, I'd rather see him out there. I don't care about his own health kind of thing as long as we're winning, is what that sends the message of. Man, I could go on about how many things I don't like about the NHL and the way they take care of things, and maybe that's why it's not as popular of a sport in the United States too. There's many things that they could do, but let me tell you what, hockey's a rough sport. We all know it. They like fights. A headshot in a fight is a big difference. So I know people bring it up. Well, what's the difference in that and punching a guy in the face in a fight? The difference is the guy's not defenseless. Subban is 110% defenseless right there. He's not going to be, he can't pick his head up and not get it smashed in the side of the ice when Crosby's on top of him in the ice. There's no defending a guy. There's a reason you're not allowed to continue a fight in the NHL when the guy goes to the ground, you know? I don't agree with it. I'd like to know what you guys think about it. I know a lot, well, actually, I know for a fact there's going to be a lot of flack on this one because there's a lot of Pens fans. I know there's going to be a lot of people like, that's dumb. You shouldn't be suspending him because it's your favorite player. Consider it from a player safety standpoint. I could care less. I mean, I'd love to see the Preds win. I always love cheering for the underdog, but I could care less which team wins. It's not my Blue Jackets winning the cup. So at the same, I just consider it's kind of dumb the way their player safety works. I really think it should be changed. I'd like to know what you guys think about it. Like I said, I hope you guys are enjoying the Stanley Cup playoffs. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.